back everyone. Today we are diving into the pit stop area of Solarpunk Racing Universe. As you may know, I already have uploaded some videos last week. This week we have just straight off started building it up in Blender. I didn't have time for working on the video in the weekend, so it's just I started doing it today, but the whole design took me like overall like maybe 4 days, and I was done with it on Friday. This design is not just a recharging bay, but it's a reimagined modular infrastructure built for clean energy, sustainability, and futuristic racing world. I'll jump in right now, like and subscribe, and if you have anything to add, please be my guest. I'm open for ideas, and like in the coming weeks I might need more ideas, and I would like to see, and what would you like to see? So yeah, without further ado, here we go. I was thinking maybe it will be beneficial for me to mention about the vehicle first, because this is where actually everything just kicked off. Our vehicle is a wheelless maglev go-kart that hovers via a field generator on the tracks. The vehicle was mainly built with sustainable materials such as PETG, PLA, and it was built modular due to accessibility of the parts and easy switching them and doing like easy maintenance. As people who are following already the channel probably knows that we have done some sketches last week, and this week was to expand on them a little bit. You can also see the video somewhere around here. I will post a link as well. Main idea was to build a pit stop that is like a shelter, but also a part of the ecosystem of a Solarpunk future, where the energy is democratized and there's no fossil fuel and everything is like very ecological. It's sustainable, and our pit stop is a modular support station. It's part of a shelter and parts infrastructure, and it was built by 3D printed materials for sustainability and fast building. It's built with recyclable materials, plant integrated roofs, and on-site tools for energy neutral operation. But also on the other hand, it's the part above is like a pavilion where people can hang out and play around and maybe watch the race a little bit and just enjoy their time. The whole design is inspired by biophilic design and biomimicry, which you probably can see it a lot in the futuristic games or futuristic like architecture in general. I already like dove into that like last week, but to shallowly explain it is there's a lot of like inspiration from Center Calatrava, MVRDB, and Expo 2020 Pavilion by Grimshaw. There is no traditional pit stop refueling here. Instead, there is battery swap or recharge via underfloor induction, as you can see over here. There's a separate section for the vehicle to arrive to the certain spot right in front of the pit stop by using these grids, and just stops by and just starts charging from there. And then as it moves in, immediately the pit stop crew, of course, like they initiate, and the drone operator on the left starts moving drones, which has both vacuum holders, which are kind of retracted right now. It's over here, and then also a nozzle which prints out the materials that are needed. So it's like this part moves and just takes out the part that's not necessary and just plugs the nozzle in and starts repairing this stuff. Pit stop is where you win the race, so the efficiency is very crucial here. So the main ideas over here is the efficiency, accessibility, and zero waste repair. So everything has to design around that culture. Everything broken can be fixed and it can be printed as well, and everything that works can also be improved. Imagine this like a very long race, like there's like a lot of laps. And imagine that as the car just keeps on like going on tracks, they start analyzing the car, and in every time they doing data analysis, they decide to import new parts into the car and just like gradually improve it as the race progresses. Talking about the drones over here, I'm actually thinking about like designing a charging drone project, which the cars might have multiple modulars for the batteries, and as a car, for example, just moves on and there are no pit stops, imagine the charging drone can just jump in and just reach out to the car and just change the batteries on the way. I think it's one of the next projects in the following weeks, so stay tuned. As obvious, this was inspired by the workflow and logic of an F1 pit stop. It has directional layout, defined crew zones, preloaded tools, and the vehicle basically glides directly into the active pad when it's necessary. And then right after that, the crew who were stationed in their directional, like the defined areas, they just follow one direction and they just jump in and just do the things necessary in the given time, which is also gamified somehow over here on the graphics, the least time possible. And then the car just gets back onto the track. Those lanes, as you see over here, it just jumps out. It's like a hyper jump. It just back onto the track. Some design notes over here. The foliage roof, as you can see, it's both for thermal insulation and it's for blending the environment to make it feel more a part of the nature around itself. If we go under the stations and the screens, which are for instant information about the race, and our 3D printers, which are there so that the parts can be printed before the car actually arrives. I will touch on that in a moment. The station over here, as you see, is for organizing the parts so they can be picked up and they will be immediately put on the car. So it's like there's a lot of interaction between the back room over here and the front table where the pit stop crew will also interact with. One thing to also mention is about the crew uniforms. It's all about like function first, and it has breathable mesh, also built an AR interface on the helmet as well, which I'll be designing soon as well. Right now it's just all empty, but this is something that will be figured out on the way. And they're all color coded. Drone operator has a different color and the crew lead has a different color. Pit lane spotter is stationed on one side, and yeah, they're always on sync for whatever purpose that they are going to perform in a pit stop. On a normal pit stop, we usually think about like almost 20 people. Right now, it's pretty much reduced because we now don't have any rear jack or front jacks because we got the limiters over here, the holograms, and basically stops the car. Since it doesn't have any wheels, they're relatively easier to maintain and take the parts out. Right now we don't need 4 people to handle one gravitational, like the devices, so it's generally being handled by the drones, and they just basically come out from this area over here and it just opens up and they just fly out. And these tubes will have some supplies for the 3D printer, and there's also a resin tank inside. Maybe we wouldn't call that resin, but yeah, something similar. Yeah, so talking about the efficiency, there's less people, but there's like more work, same amount of work being done by less people. So we get an induction charging pad over here underneath the vehicle. It automatically activates when aligned, and there's a magnetic alignment grid or visible lock-in light, which is considered as an indicator for the pit crew and driver. The 3D printing inside the pit is basically handled by modular trays, and the parts are printed before the arrival. And the interface over here, can zoom in, is connected directly to the vehicle, which we can also see as the same device right outside. So the pit lane spotter can also help by checking out the diagnostics and directing the pit stop crew. Talking about diagnostics, I was thinking about maybe there could be also predictive maintenance systems. It's common for the airplanes to reduce the amount of budget that's actually needed for maintaining the plane, because you can analyze the plane situation and you can see like which parts are actually needed to be maintained, instead of like maintaining everything. You just focus on one area that is actually needed. So what I was thinking is like it can actually remotely analyze the vehicle health via sensors, and some artificial intelligence can override the manual inspections and prioritize the crucial maintenance for efficiency purposes, for example. It also suggests parts to be printed before the racer arrives, so when the racer arrives they can immediately change the parts. So it reduces the amount of mistakes that the driver can do or the pit crew can do when they are interacting with each other and the car itself. So it basically aligns the vehicle with the pit crew with constant communication. Okay, so I think we can start wrapping up. I can go over the process a little bit. So it's actually quite straightforward. You probably have seen the hand sketches that we have done last week. I'll also post the links again. And then right after that, I just basically jumped into Blender and did the layout and started like polishing the assets one by one. It was like a very gradual process, and also like after that I put them into asset browser and call them into this scene. As you see over here, everything over here is like instances or the assets that I called from the asset browser. It just makes everything easier, for me to move around and stuff. And then right after that I just put everything into Photoshop. There was like a very minimum work that needed to be done on the paint overs. There were some like skins clipping off from the cloths, or like some hair wasn't really looking that good, so I just had to paint them out and do some very quick fixes there. The humans are from Human Gen, and the vegetation is from Engon. As you can see over here, yeah, I brought the characters from Human Gen and just slapped in some cloth assets that I have, which I currently have a lot. Yeah, and the vehicles are the ones that you have seen before. So this was currently that for our pit stop design from the last week. This week I will be probably working a bit less because I'm traveling to Berlin on Thursday to Monday, and I won't be so available to do more like polished work as this. So it'll be very sketchy. I'll be posting a lot of like sketchworks and like inks and like maybe some photos as well. And also next week I might also do some very quick like environment paint overs, like quick paintings, just to get some ideas out of your system. Because I was thinking about maybe we could expand the world a little bit. I was thinking about like maybe it could be like 2-3 new environments, but this won't be necessarily a track. It can be like nature environments, or I don't know, like icy environments, or some foresty environments. Imagine it like as if like it's Forza Horizon, but takes place in the future. So let's think about some like vast environments where we will have like specific cars and they will be rushing in, and there will be some other technological elements from that era that can also provide assistance to the driver in the car itself. So that environment, the base like race maps, new cars, a new charging drone, which I mentioned before, and new HUD design. I was thinking about involving a bit more motion design in our concepts. So I will be probably thinking about the helmets that I have designed, maybe integrate some of the HUD parts in there. I already have some sketches, but I have to polish them a little bit. I will probably leave them like to the next week, but this week will probably be about like me just doing some random sketches. I hope you guys will enjoy that. This was the environment that we worked on this week, and these were the plans for the few weeks ahead. I'm sorry if I have made some mistakes while I'm talking, because it's way too hot over here. There's a huge heat wave right now in Germany. It's 33 degrees. I'm just melting over here. You guys probably have seen that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the last 20 minutes of the time that you spent over here. Please let me know if you have any other questions, if you have any other ideas that you would like me to work on. Maybe we can even consider to prioritize them over the ideas that I have, which I definitely wouldn't mind, because I was kind of thinking like, what am I going to do in the next couple of weeks, and I just came up with these ideas. So if you guys have anything else that you would like to see, please let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you all like 122 people right now for following me. I hope there will be a lot more people coming in the near future. So yeah, thanks everyone, and I will see you all next week. Bye.